Alright, today we are in Mildmay, Ontario. We're just actually filling up our water jugs, and to the left there's an artesian well. This video will consist of information on that, on how it works, and just some general information. Alright, so as you can see, this is my homemade map of the artesian well in Mildmay. So what I'll do first is actually just kind of name what's on here, and then we'll continue on. So first, right here, I'll start with the jug filling station. This is where you would fill up your jugs for the water, obviously. Across the field is actually a pump shed. I'm not completely sure what that's for. It's like when I walked past it, it actually sounded like there was like some sort of pump or something in it. What I will mention here is this is not actually used for pumps. Like it does not have a pump use at all. So I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just a secondary use or something. So anyway, moving on. Right here is a river that's beside it. Right here is the pond pipe, which you will see later on in the video. Right here, like the little blue areas coming from the black, is the bubbling pipes. Again, you'll see that later in the video. This is the water wheel. The black poles represent the aquifer pipes, and then in the brown, that is your impervious rock, and the blue represents the pervious rock as well as the aquifer. And this part I did not color in, but that is actually your artesian well pond that you will see in Mildmay. So just to be clear, in the videos I'll try to just say, like, when I talk about the pond, I'm just going to refer to it as a pond. Anyway, moving on. Alright, let's get started. An artesian well is a water well that flows under its own pressure, from underground going upwards. An artesian basin consists of pervious rock, which is the blue, lying between two layers of impervious rock, forming an aquifer, which is also known as the blue part here. On a side note, I will mention that pervious rocks allow water to pass through, while impervious does not. The aquifer acts as a reservoir for groundwater. As a side note, a reservoir is a pool of water that collects. Moving on. As water seeps through the earth to the aquifer, it passes through porous rocks such as sand, sandstone, gravel, and limestone, making a natural filter, which in turn makes the water safe to drink. I will insert a demonstration of a natural filter right here. So I'm just going to show you a quick demonstration of how a natural filtration system works. So here I just have a glass with some rocks. These rocks will act as the pervious rocks that would be in an artesian well. So let's get started. So as I explain this will be our groundwater, normally coming from, rainfalls and stuff. So rainwater, any other water like that. And this will just be the cup for after it's filtered. Alright, so how a filtration system works, or a natural filtration works, is that the sediment from the rocks and everything will dissolve impurities, making your water fresh and clean. So let's just have a little look here as it slowly goes through the rocks, making it pervious. Impervious is the other rocks that are usually in the aquifer, which water cannot flow through those. Good to the last drop. Just like Mildmay water. Alright, so you can see that the water flowed right through and is clear. Hopefully you can see that. And now this will act as our, our water jugs or whatever we fill up in any spring that we use, or like a natural spring, artesian well, a ground well, what is it called? Standing well, sorry. But this will be the outcome. So nice and clean, see-through, or clear and clean. Alright, so that's it for the demonstration. See, on to the video. With an artesian well producing natural pressure, metal pipes are drilled into the ground to reach the aquifer. Then water flows up the pipes, resulting in the water gushing out above the ground. This happens because the confined pressure in the aquifer pushes water up and outwards. And you'll see in Mildmay, it's actually like a fountain, and later in the video you'll also see about the bubbling area. That's the part that I was referring to. Also with Mildmay, this is referred to as a flowing artesian well. Alright, so that wraps it up for the diagram portion of this. But when I am in Mildmay, I actually get several people asking me like how I store the water, like after I fill up. So I'm just gonna give a quick description on, like, for people that are starting to use natural springs all around the world even. So I'll just give you a quick description here. Is that I literally just leave them in the jugs in the kitchen. Another great option is to leave the jugs in your garage if you have one. What I will mention too with mine, pardon my fridge, I do have a Brita dispenser here, so I actually just like transfer the water from those jugs into the Brita just so it's easier to put into a cup, especially for my kids too. But yeah, overall I do just leave them in the jugs. I will not drink out of these jugs here, just so I'm not contaminating them with like bacteria. So I will transfer it either, say, into a cup, or, you know, if I'm cooking, I'll put it into like a pot or pan, and obviously the Brita thing. So yeah, so that's just my overall opinion for that. I don't refrigerate other than the Brita. So yeah. Hopefully that helps. And the next part of this video will actually just be an actual video while I was in Mildmay, and I will explain a few things as I walk around the pond, which is the artesian well. The artesian well is located in Mildmay Rotary Park within the town of Mildmay on Highway 9 between Clifford and Walkerton. This artesian well has a depth of 34 meters and has unrestricted flow, dispensing water from 4 taps. As you can see here, this water is definitely safe to consume, as I have personally filled jugs here for over 4 years. This is my main source of drinking water, as I do not drink tap water or store-bought. This water is also known as the best well water in Canada due to its refreshingly cold, clean taste. I, as well as many others, definitely agree with this. It's worth the drive here. This is an overview of the entire park, bringing us to the bridge with the river that holds the overflow of the water from the artesian well. Notice how crisp and clear the water is. You can see right through to the bottom. Bringing us to the actual artesian well, there is a water wheel. As I walk around the artesian well, I'll be sure to point out important information on the points around it. As we walk around the back side of the pond, make note to an open pipe in the water. This pipe is the overflow of the water which will proceed down and into the river, so the pond area of the artesian well does not overflow. As we move around the well, you'll notice 3 areas that have a little bit of bubbling. I will refer to these as the aquifer pipes. As the description said before, earlier in the video, that these are the ones that are coming from the aquifer and going upwards. So that's like our little fountain almost. So in about a minute, I'll be pointing out where these aquifer pipes are. So here we have 1, 2, and 3. And this is our final overview of the artesian well. Make note of the water wheel. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.